guys? Hope everybody's doing well and having a great day. In this video, we're going to talk about the simple truth regarding the drone situation that's been going on now. Pretty hot and heavy for a couple of weeks. I've been receiving drone videos for probably 4 to 6 weeks. I put together this map of locations that I personally have received videos and photos of these drones for a little over a month now. And you can see there's 20 different locations across the United States and probably locations in other parts of the world that I'm just simply not aware of. So I want to stick to here in the United States, but I want to explore a common sense explanation as to what's really going on with these drones. The Department of Defense doubles down, says drones are not U.S. military assets. Article here dated December 17th of 2024. So just 3 days ago, 72 hours, they said they are not involved in this drone situation that seems to be sweeping the country. There have been drones spotted all up and down the east coast of the United States, across the country, even out in California. The one out in California was one of the most unbelievable drones I think I'd ever seen, if in fact this was a drone. I want to share this with you guys again. Video footage sent in by Maximum Prime from October 4th of 2024. This was a little prior to the influx of heavy drone activity, but I've seen recent video footage from the east coast of the United States that looks somewhat similar to what we're about to see here. And by the way, this video was filmed in 4K format. You're going to see this object here right there stop in the sky, hover in the sky. It's blinking red, and then it turns green, at least the lights do, and then there's a very bright, overwhelming light in the center. That's very similar to the drone activity that people have been seeing out east along the east coast of the United States, especially the red and white drones. This looks to be much bigger, but some of the drones that we've seen in videos look very big. They almost look like they're fixed-wing crafts. I have a photo, a up-close photo, that I want to share with you guys that was taken from the New Jersey area of a drone that definitely looks like a small airplane. This thing here looks like something altogether different. This looks like some sort of an anti-gravity possible UFO. Maybe this is some sort of a military flying machine, but as you can see, it's just sitting in the sky. Airplanes can't do that. They have to be moving. It's clearly not a helicopter, and this bright light in the center almost gives it the impression of some sort of a triangle maybe in the sky. I don't know what's going on here, but this was filmed above Southern California, Azusa, California. Right there, it just switched light sequences. Did you see that? Went from all red to all green and almost made what appeared to be a very fast clockwise rotation, about 90 degrees to the right, but maintaining the same altitude, the same position, not moving. Just an amazing video out of Southern California. And here's a close-up view of this incredible flying machine, whatever it was, spotted above Southern California. Again, this reminds me of a lot of the footage that we've seen out east and various locations in between. But I want to talk about something you guys may or may not have heard of. It's called NORAD. NORAD is the North American Aerospace Defense Command. NORAD Command used to be located in Cheyenne, Wyoming, in the mountains. Now the headquarters for NORAD, the United States and North American Command Centers, are located at Peterson Space Force Base in El Paso County near Colorado Springs. And I think they still operate out of Cheyenne, Wyoming. But what their job is, they monitor the skies of Alaska, Canada, and the continental United States. The continental NORAD region, CONR, is the component of NORAD that provides airspace surveillance and control and directs air sovereignty activities for the contiguous United States CONUS. Since the terrorist attacks of September 11th, CONR has been the lead agency for Operation Noble Eagle, an ongoing mission to protect the continental United States from any airborne issues. And again, NORAD monitors the skies, have monitored the skies for many, many years, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And for presentation purposes, I put together this map. In fact, I made it about an hour ago. This would hypothetically be the grid that monitors the skies above the United States, controlled by NORAD up here in the Wyoming, Colorado area. Anything that would enter the airspace inside this grid, the coordinates would automatically be generated no matter how big or small the object may be. If it's flying, it's going to be detected by this grid, no doubt about it. There's not only this grid that's operated by NORAD, but there's the space fence that's operated by DoD, Space Force. It also monitors the skies even higher up for any possible invaders from space, meteors, satellites that come back down into the Earth, space debris, things like that. Just a wide variety, anything that could potentially be coming from space. So you have this layer of protection, the space fence, and then you have this layer of protection that's monitored by NORAD. So how could these drones be flying in the airspace of the United States? And here's a drone, a close-up view of one of the drones recently spotted above New Jersey. Photo taken by Jessica Canzone from just a few nights ago. Check that thing out. That looks like a fixed-wing drone. That's pretty good size. That's at least 8 feet long, like the Coast Guard was saying a few days ago. They spotted some off the east coast of the United States, and they said they looked to be fixed wing and at least 8 feet long. That looks like one of them. And notice the similarities to the video that I shared with you guys at the very beginning. See the red and green? Notice the red and green. This is out in California along the west coast of the United States. This is along the east coast of the United States. They look very similar, right? Maybe the same size, maybe it's the same craft. But here's the thing. How are these things allowed, and I say this very literally, how are these flying machines allowed to function in the airspace above the United States with NORAD in complete control? I'm telling you, a large mysterious mosquito could fly above the United States, and they would know about it. So I find it difficult, almost impossible to believe that they're not involved, at least in some capacity. They'd almost have to be with NORAD up functioning properly. It's going to know exactly how many drones are in the sky, where they're at, where they came from, and where they're going, and exactly what they're doing. They know. Trust me, they know everything that goes on in the skies above the United States. And that's why I put together this map. I actually had several people ask me to put together a map for presentation purposes, just to kind of get an idea of what the drone situation looks like here, at least in the United States. Globally, like I said, I'm not 100% sure, but this is what I've received personally from people on the ground that have seen these drones in the sky. And there have been people spot them from airplanes here recently, right over here above the Detroit area. There was a plane flying from Detroit to Newark, New Jersey, and spotted some good-sized drones. In fact, they look like this here, from an airplane flying to New Jersey, and this was less than a week ago. So this is what the map looks like over here in the United States. And again, the military says, hey, we're not involved. I want to show you guys something else that's highly mysterious. These random flashing lights. You guys saw video footage here a few days ago of lights flashing in various locations. I've received more footage of this mysterious phenomena that's been occurring here recently. Allison out of Cleveland, Ohio, video footage from yesterday, 12/19 of 2024. Check this out. Look at the lights flashing in downtown Cleveland, Ohio. I mean, this is getting a little bit out of hand, right? And again, the military says they're not involved. But with NORAD, I find it almost impossible for them to not know what's going on. Here's another video of the mysterious flashing light phenomena. Matthew out of Yorkshire, United Kingdom, 12/17 of 2024. Another bright flashing light, very late at night. Look at that. Apparently, this is something that he's not used to seeing. And I don't think this would be a common occurrence every night in a community, in a neighborhood, a subdivision where people live. That was another very bright flashing light for unknown reasons, just like right here in downtown Cleveland, Ohio. We've seen various videos of parking lots full of cars and the hazard lights all flashing at the same time. In that regard, with the flashing lights, the flashing street lights, the flashing car lights, indeed, very, very mysterious. But I find it hard to believe, with NORAD fully functional and in place, and have been in place for many, many years, with a grid above the United States like this, and all of this drone activity that's been occurring, they have to know, okay? So whether they're directly involved, indirectly involved, NORAD has to know. Like I said, NORAD could detect a large mosquito. It would know exactly how big it is. And speaking of flying, I have some more incredible footage to share with you guys. As I'd mentioned a couple of days ago, I've received daytime footage of mysterious objects in the daytime sky. And here we go. The first video's out of Michigan, sent in by Anonymous 9/2 of 2024 at 5:06 p.m. Looks like a typical balloon, right? Well, witness says this did not appear until he pointed a laser up in the sky. So whatever that is, apparently it was not a balloon. It wasn't there when he stepped outside. He zooms in on it the best he could, and then I zoom in even closer, and as you'll be able to see, this isn't a typical weather balloon. Weather balloons normally have payloads that hang on the underside of the balloon. Depending on the weight of the payload, sometimes they can cause the balloons to stretch out and become elongated. This one's not, so it doesn't have a payload on the bottom of it. Here's where it gets strange. This is the same object. Now it appears as a vertical, stationary object in the sky, almost appearing to have some sort of wings on it. Check this out. Are you serious right now? What in the world was in the sky above Michigan? What is that thing? And again, this thing is stationary. It's not moving up or down. It's probably at around, 30,000 feet. Look at that thing. So that tells you it's pretty decent size, whatever it was above Michigan. Crystal Rodin also noticed what looked like a cylinder flying through the daytime sky. Did a good job filming this thing, moving slowly through the daytime sky. Didn't appear to have wings on it, no flashing lights, wasn't making any sound.
I've never seen an airplane like
You want
that.
to take the car and follow it, Crystal?
Well,
They were talking about following it. She goes, I've never seen an airplane that looks like that because it didn't have any wings on it.
That is odd.
She said that is odd.
that's odd.
And another witness says that's odd. So there were multiple witnesses to this strange object in the daytime sky, and most of us aren't compelled to pull out our smartphones and start recording just random airplanes. There was nothing random about that. It was very bizarre and looked out of place. Angela out of Utica, New York, said she's standing in the middle of the road, pulled out her high-definition recording device and started recording this black object in the daytime sky. I'm sharing this with you because there's another black object coming up that's diamond-shaped. This one doesn't necessarily have a diamond shape to it, but you can tell by her reaction it was way more than just a balloon. Most of us don't record balloons that are drifting through the sky.
That's a weird-shaped drone.
She was saying that's got to be a drone, but it was a weird-shaped drone. Check this out. Tim out of Medellin, Colombia, 12/8 of 2024. This is stationary, maintained the same altitude, probably around 20,000 feet. Way too high to be a drone. And look at the shape of this thing. Diamond-shaped. Nothing hanging off the bottom of it like a balloon would have, sometimes a string or a payload if it were a weather balloon. This thing was jet black. Had no flashing lights, remained stationary. Look how high up that thing is. It may be above 20,000 feet. Look at that thing. Pretty decent size. Diamond shape, remained very stationary. Video footage out of South America. Not saying this is a drone. This is just some sort of an unidentified aerial phenomenon spotted above Colombia. Great footage, guys. Thanks for sharing. Going from the daytime skies to the nighttime skies. Jessica from New Jersey looked up and saw there's those familiar colors again, like I started the video off with. The reds and greens, and they're rotating in sequence. There's a white light in the middle. This looks similar to the object that we saw above California. Not making any sound, not behaving like a typical airplane. And again, this was above New Jersey just a few nights ago. Not moving super fast. So again, I want to refer back to, just real quick while we're on this thought, if that were flying above the U.S., and this one was, it was flying right over in here, and it went inside this airspace, that every molecule of this airspace, every molecule is monitored. Don't you think that it would notice that? Of course it would. It's bright. It's not trying to hide. It's flying easily visible to anybody on the ground that wants to look up. So I'm confident that NORAD knew this thing was in the sky, and it looks to be pretty decent size. That's not small, and that's probably around 20,000 feet again. Now it appears to be solid red. The light sequence is very similar to the light sequence of the large object in California. Now she says it's moving very slow, and it does look like it's almost stopped in the sky. Airplanes don't do that. And a helicopter, if that were a helicopter, you would hear it, and you would know it. It would have a bright white flashing light on it. She said this is not a plane, and it doesn't look like a plane. Flying way too slow. Above New Jersey. New Jersey has been one of the hot spots for observations of these things, but not limited to New Jersey. That's why I put the map together. I had several people ask if I would put a map together, so I made one this morning, and I simply used the videos that I received personally so my map would be accurate. I know there's been other sightings, quite possibly in every state, who knows, but these are just the locations of videos that I personally have received, and you can see the sightings stretch far and wide from coast to coast. But again, back to NORAD, anything that flies above U.S. airspace is monitored by NORAD. So I'm pretty sure the military is aware of these things, but the question still remains, who could they be working with? They're more than likely not working with another country. So who could they be working with then? Unless they're just keeping this ultra top secret. But if they're not working with another country, which I'm sure they're not, I don't think it's commonplace for other countries to be able to just come over and fly random drones above the United States in our airspace whenever they want to. That just doesn't happen. Our military is too strong and too sophisticated for that, so there's no country going to try to pull something like this. So it makes you wonder if the military is involved, and I know they say they're not. They almost have to be with NORAD being in place, and that brings us back to the million-dollar question. Who are they allowing to fly these drones over U.S. airspace? And there have been a lot of them lately. And remember, every molecule of the airspace above the United States is monitored 24/7, 365 days a year. Thanks for watching. Have a super day, and be safe out there.